Hey, what's going on? Hey, welcome back to the channel. We got another stream for you guys today. It's going to be a quick one. I'm not going to spend too much time. We're going to go over the news and we will obviously talk about the Kamara news. We will probably do a draft as well. And let's go ahead and jump into this. So obviously the big news today is Kamara. We expected this week. Remember, I talked to you guys during the last stream, and really Sunday and Monday, I believe it was the last two streams. I basically told you guys to be on the lookout for a Kamara suspension coming down. We talked about how he met with Goodell on Wednesday, and so I fully expected it to kind of come down this week. And what do you know? I went to go get a haircut. I was actually going to go live probably an hour ago, but I decided to go get a haircut. And what do you know? The news dropped. I seen on basically, you know, Underdog, ESPN, everywhere else. You know, it was all over the place. And so Kamara only suspended 3 games. Remember, I told you guys I thought it would be 1 or 2 games. I said it wouldn't be any more than 4 probably, and here we are. It's like right in the middle of what I thought it would be and about what the max would be. So 3 games. I'm really not shocked, to be honest. I bought a ton of, I wasn't buying a ton of Kamara, but I did have quite a bit of him. We were getting him in round 8, round 9. I've even seen him go in round 10 a long time ago, back in like May. I actually did a draft while I was at the haircut place. I did one on my phone, and somebody took him at the beginning of the 6th round, and so I think he was like the 3rd pick of round 6. So the cheap Kamara days might be over here. You know, we're going to jump into another draft. We'll see where he goes, but getting him in like round 8, the beginning of round 8, he basically fell 2 rounds from that draft that I did at the barbershop. So those days may be over. So let's kick off here with the big news. NFL suspending Saints running back Alvin Kamara 3 games for his role in the fight outside a Las Vegas nightclub in 2022. Remember, that was during the Pro Bowl week. According to a report from ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, Kamara met with the NFL commissioner Roger Goodell earlier this week. That would have been on Wednesday, by the way. Wednesday, August 2nd. Fantasy Impact says, well, at least now fantasy managers finally know exactly where they're going, where they're going to be getting, know exactly what they're getting when drafting Kamara. For much of the summer, he was a major question mark, and the lack of clarity surrounding his status affected his ADP, Fantasy Pros ECR. He is currently 78th overall, running back 29 in the ECR. That's the consensus rankings for those of you guys who don't know. But he is likely to jump into the mid RB2 range now that his suspension's only 3 games. Jamal Williams, Kendrick Miller will have additional appeal though in the first 3 weeks, and Williams will likely be valuable in most formats given a short yardage end zone role. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe not. Is MT scaring you from drafting Olave? Thomas has been looking good in camp. To a degree, I wouldn't say scaring me. I still like Olave. I would say I like him like later than maybe what his ADP is. He's currently one of my keepers, or he's eligible to be one of my keepers in the auction league that I'm currently in, my main league, my auction league. I don't know if I'm going to keep him. And it's not really because of MT, it's just because of some of the things that are transpiring in my league. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure if I want to keep Olave in that league because of what's going on. Some of the guys that aren't being kept by other teams, and there's a chance I could maybe go get Justin Jefferson and a couple other guys. And so I will say no. I will say no, just because I think Olave's still going to be pretty decent. Now, I will say drafting him in round 2 is kind of it's making me a little uneasy drafting him in round 2. I'd rather try to get him like round 3 consistently. Round 2 is, I look, don't get me wrong. I still like Olave. I still like Olave a ton. And all it takes is one little injury, you know, from Mike Thomas or whatever, and you know, a lot of people are going to be right back on the Olave train. I think there's a chance that both of them have a decent year. I still think Olave. I don't think Olave does any worse than what he did last year. If anything, I think he does better, even with Thomas maybe vulturing some work or whatever. Really, I think this news right here with Kamara really affects Olave more than the Mike Thomas does, just because this guy's a receiving threat out of the backfield as well. He's going to get plenty of touches. I will say with this news about Kamara, the Mike Thomas news, they're saying Juwan Johnson's looking pretty good in camp as well. And then obviously who knows what Taysom Hill's role is going to be. I do think that this team's going to be pretty good this year. They got the easiest schedule of any team. And I will say, it's going to be tough to know like who's the guy who's going to eat the most in this offense. If I had to guess, it's going to be Kamara when he comes back. But we're just going to have to wait and see, man. There's, you know, they're also saying Rashid Shaheed looks pretty good in camp right now as well. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a decent offense, and it's got many avenues of you know, a couple of receivers, the tight end, Kamara. If Derek Carr plays pretty well this year, there's going to be a couple of guys. We're just going to have to wait and see and find out who they are. We don't really know who they are because we've never seen Derek Carr in this offense. And so, like I said, we're just going to have to wait and see. I will say I'm hoping to maybe get Olave in like round 3 right now. I do have a little bit of Olave. But like I said, in my auction draft, I don't know if I'm going to keep him just because I wish his price tag was a little lower. Would I have him in my auction league? Plus, there's like some things that are going on in my draft that I might be able to get my hands on some better players, you know what I mean? And so, like Olave, I got 33% of them here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do have Olave quite a bit. I got 48 shares of them out of these 145 teams. So it's not like crazy. It's not like some other guys, but all right, let's go over the other relevant news that has been going on over the last couple days. Let's start with Cooper Kupp. So obviously he had the hamstring issue. Cooper Kupp upgraded to day-to-day. Hamstring is being called day-to-day according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Look, I know they're calling this day-to-day, but I looked it up on Draft Sharks. I looked up his injury. He has a grade 2 hamstring. And so I can show you guys this real quick. I don't know about Kupp right now, man. Kupp's, I mean, I haven't really updated my rankings, but he's going to be sliding down my rankings a little bit. I think this could be an injury that maybe bugs him all year. We'll see. I'll be curious to see like when he gets back into the offense and when he's back into practice. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Keenan Allen, and I mean, these guys are both kind of the same age. Remember, Keenan Allen had the hamstring, I think it was week 1. It just kind of lingered the whole year. He ended up doing okay towards the end of the year, but it's just I don't know what to make of it, man. It worries me if I'm a Cooper. I mean, I'm not a Cooper Kupp owner. I don't have too much of them, but for those of you out there who are, I would yeah, it says right here, hamstring, thigh hamstring strain grade 2. This is what they got it labeled as on. I don't know how they know this and they haven't told anybody. Like, it's not on Fantasy Pros' outlet. I don't see it on ESPN, but if you guys see here on Draft Sharks right here, they got it right here highlighted. Thigh hamstring strain grade 2. This is the same thing that Keenan Allen had last year. Now, obviously, Keenan Allen had it like week 1. It says week 1 here. It says he should return for week 1. The date's obviously wrong on this. It says September 1st of 23. It should say August. I think that's a typo. It should say August 1st. But if you guys look though, this hamstring, this is it right here, this number 1. This is on the same leg as the ankle. It's on the same leg as the ankle. So this could be maybe a little bit of a compensation injury here for that ankle last year. That ankle sprain, grade 3 last year. He missed the last 8 games. And he had surgery on it. This could be a little bit of a compensation injury, maybe coming back from this ankle. And so it's something to monitor. If I'm a Cooper Kupp owner in like a dynasty league or a keeper league, and you have him, obviously if you have like the 4th or 5th overall pick in your draft coming up or something, and he's like one of those guys that kind of falls in that range, you got a decision to make. But we also got, you know, about 4 or 5 weeks before the drafts or before the season starts. You know, whenever you're doing your draft, hopefully towards the end of this month. That way you can evaluate everything that's going on. Maybe he comes back to practice. We'll see. But this could be something that maybe is a compensation injury. This is not a good sign to have a hamstring early on in camp, early in the preseason. I mean, the preseason really hasn't started. The Hall of Fame game was last night. So really week 1 of the preseason is next week, technically. And so the fact that this has already happened, I would be, like I said, monitoring this very closely if I'm a guy who has this guy or is maybe in line to pick this guy. You're gonna have to wait for some more news probably coming out. Wait for some more news coming out maybe in the next couple of weeks if you don't draft until, say, like the first week of September or the end of August. So, but this is, like I said, it's concerning to see that he's already got this compensation injury. It looks like on the same, you know, it's the same leg of the same ankle of where he had the ankle sprain. He had the surgery. And so, like I said, man, it's a bad deal. And remember, Keenan Allen had that last year, and it lingered all last year. He didn't really get going until the end of the year, but he was missing week after week. And people that drafted Keenan Allen last year, they were not very happy, to say the least. All right, let's go over David Montgomery here. So David Montgomery, expected to be co-starter with Jahmyr Gibbs, is reportedly expected to be a co-starter with Jahmyr Gibbs in the Lions backfield. They're looking to go two-headed monster here. You know, they signed Montgomery to a 3-year deal, invested a number 12 overall pick on Gibbs. Remember, they gave him a 3-year deal, I think worth about $18 million, so he's getting about $6 million a year. That's pretty good. Remember, he was one of the first running backs coming off the market this year. You got to think Zeke is still out there, Fournette. They really wanted Montgomery. He's going to be used in this offense quite a bit. I've been drafting a ton of Montgomery. Currently, as it stands right now, I have about 22.1% of them. That's just a niche draft. I probably got a little more than that if we consider the super flexes, some of the other drafts. But I'm all over David Montgomery this year. Give me some David Montgomery. I like him this year a lot. I like him a lot. Where's my soundbite at? I like it a lot. So yeah, give me some David Montgomery this year. All right, next piece of news, really our last piece of news. We'll go over Javonte too real quick. Zach Charbonnet's shoulder returns to practice. Zach Charbonnet returned yesterday to practice. They said that he was going to be good to go for a mock game that they had going on today in training camp. So no real news on him, like maybe getting hurt today, at least so far. So I take it he participated in the mock game, or he's getting ready to. I don't know if they're still at practice or not, but Walker obviously remains on the sideline with the groin issue. This is a little bit concerning for Walker, man. You know, it's kind of weird that Charbonnet's ready to go all of a sudden, back at practice yesterday and today. They said he was out indefinitely. I'm telling you, man, some of these reports, you just can't trust what they're saying. I mean, I have them on here. We go back. I mean, this is how dumb all this is, man. You guys look at this. Remember when we went over this, 4 or 5 days ago over the weekend, out indefinitely with the shoulder, like out indefinitely, like, and then he's back at practice yesterday and today. He's good to go apparently. And then we got Kenneth Walker out for a while, whatever that freaking means. We don't even know what that means. So it's tough to trust some of this reporting that they got going on. I just don't get it. Once again, they're not being honest with this, and so for this sake, I'm saying I'm kind of avoiding Walker right now. I really am, unless he falls like round 7 or something, or maybe the end of round 6. I think he did go in round 6 that draft I did at the barbershop. So, all right, last but not least, I'm really gonna only go over stuff that I consider really important. You know, Jalen Hurts building new chemistry with AJ Brown. According to Inquirer.com, you know, that is what it is. I don't really care. Oh, I got an alarm clock. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right. We had an alarm going off. So... But yeah, so like Jalen Hurts, I'm not really concerned about that. I'm not really looking into that much about him building more, new chemistry with AJ Brown. That's cool and all. I guess I wouldn't really expect anything less. And then, let's see here. It says Jalen Hyatt continues to stand out in camp. That's cool. I'm not really, whatever. We'll see about that. Beasley working out as the number 1 slot receiver in practice. This pretty much, this is news about, basically I wouldn't be going after, what's his face? What's that guy's name? I don't even remember the guy's name because he got hurt last year. He didn't hardly play at all. What is the guy's name? I gotta look up his name now because I forget. Like I said, he played like 1 game. He got hurt. He blew out like his ACL. What's that guy's name? Wan'Dale Robinson, the guy out of Kentucky. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is bad news for Wan'Dale. Obviously, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it really matters too much. I don't know if they're going to run too many 3-man sets, 3 receiver sets. I think for the Giants, I think they're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets this year. Remember, they're going to play through Barkley as much as they can, probably as well. Why can I not find the Javonte news? Where is the Javonte news at? It's probably on the next page here. So Javonte, here, I'm just going to pull it up. Expected to see action in the preseason, if you guys can believe that. This will be interesting. I kind of want to see him now. I'm going to be tuning in for the Broncos' first preseason game, seeing how many touches he gets. He probably won't get a ton of touches, but he's going to see some action in the preseason, according to Sean Payton. So now we don't know which game, if it's going to be the first, second, or third game, or all 3, or whatever. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. But I just find it hard to believe that this guy's good to go. I really do. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. I think there's a chance where it's like Barkley a couple of years ago, where he came back and played the first, so Barkley played pretty poor the first 2 games. He played decent the 3rd game. He played really good the 4th game. And then he had about a compensation injury, basically, on the ankle. Week 5, injured his ankle. Was out pretty much the middle of the season for 5 or 6 games. Then he came back towards the end of the year, but he didn't really produce much in fantasy. He was basically an overall bust. Says Peyton added that Williams might not play till the 2nd preseason game. So there you go. 2nd preseason game. I like how he's progressing. Peyton said, "This is huge news for Williams coming off tearing his ACL, especially given the history of running backs usually struggling the year after tearing their ACL." He didn't just tear his ACL, he blew up his knee. This guy had grade 3 MCL, grade 3 ACL. I mean, I don't know, man. I if he can return and recover and be somewhat of himself, I do think he's going to split a ton of time with P. Ryan. Remember, P. Ryan is one of the highest paid backup running backs in the league now. They're going to use a ton of P. Ryan in the passing game. They're going to use a ton of him, I think, more so than a lot of teams that have, their backups and use their backups. I'm still not as high on Javonte this year. I think this is a year to kind of stay away from him, let somebody else draft him, maybe trade for him in the middle of the year or something if he gets off to a slow start and he shows that he can stay healthy. I don't think he's going to be the running back that people think he can be or the hope that he will be. He's going to be okay if he stays healthy, but at the same time, I think we're going to see something very similar to him and Melvin Gordon. He's not probably going to catch the ball as much this year. I think they're going to use P. Ryan for that for the most part. For the most part, I'm kind of staying away from Javonte. I have a little bit of Javonte in some of these best ball leagues, but in my main leagues, I'm staying away from him. I'm gonna take some running backs that go a little bit later than him that I think could have similar upside or even better upside as far as overall fantasy goes. So, I mean, a best ball, sure, take a shot with him. I wouldn't take too many shots with him, though. And that is our news for the day, basically. There's nothing really new other than, obviously some of this stuff is a couple days old. The Javonte news was yesterday. Some of this stuff was from yesterday. Some of this stuff was from Wednesday. And then obviously the big news of the day is obviously Alvin Kamara getting suspended for 3 games. Looking at the schedule, he is going to miss. Obviously they have the best schedule. They have the easiest schedule, but he's going to miss at home against Tennessee, on the road in Carolina, on the road in Green Bay. He gets to come back home October 1st for his opening day game, or his opens the year against Tampa Bay at home. Tampa Bay's got a terrible defense this year. They're not going to be nearly as good as what they've been back when they won the Super Bowl. Defense is a little bit older. And I believe Kalijah Kancey also missed some practice the other day, which is their guy the guy they drafted in the first round, nose tackle out of Pittsburgh. And so, yeah, he gets to open up against Tampa Bay at home in the Superdome. It's going to be he's missing 2 away games at Green Bay, at Carolina. Arguably, those are 2 defenses that are much better than Tampa Bay. And he misses Tennessee, who, their defense is okay. But he's got New England after that, Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, Chicago, Minnesota. He's got the 2 Atlanta games on there. He has the other Tampa Bay game, the Rams game, and obviously the other Carolina game at home. I'm not really worried about him missing the 3 games. I think this is good for him as far as what it could have been. It's obviously not good, but it could have been worse. And like I said, I kind of thought it was going to be 1 or 2 games, maybe 4 at the most. They ended up settling with 3, which is about what we thought. It was in the ballpark of what we thought. And so, like I said, if he wouldn't have got suspended, I wouldn't have been surprised at all. I didn't think they would come down very hard on him. And 3 games is not very hard considering what I thought it should have been. I thought he should have got at least half the year, but but that's why we drafted him, because we were gambling on him. Like I said, we got about 11% of them here. I got 15 shares of them in this league. I probably got about 20 shares of them overall, 20 to 25 roughly, I would say. Like I said, I'm not surprised by this news at all. I'm not surprised at all. So let's go ahead and jump into a draft and let's see where he goes again. Like I said, he went in the beginning of round 6 whenever I was at the barbershop. So my guess is he's going to be kind of an easy round 7 guy, maybe mid to late 6th round. We'll see. I had pick number 12 last draft whenever I was at the barbershop, so hopefully we get a better pick this time, because this is I'm kind of tired of getting back of the line picks. I'm gonna go see where all my picks were, by the way. I'm gonna tally them up. I'm gonna tally up where all my picks were and see how fair it is, I guess, based off, like, you know, how many times I'm getting certain picks. So they have the pit bull out right now. They got a slow puppy out still. They got the mastiff, the best ball mania. They got the hound dog. I've done 2 of the hound dogs. That's what I just did. We're gonna do another hound dog draft. If you guys want to get in it, go ahead and hit the button if you guys want to draft with me. We'll go over here in the bottom left corner for now. We're waiting on like 3 people. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty quick stream. I'm going to just do this draft and then I'm going to be done. I'm going to probably go to the gym. We might do another stream later tonight. We'll see. I've kind of been up all day. So, worked last night. I contemplated doing a stream last night, but I decided to go to work, do some work instead. And then I've just kind of, you know, I've kind of been up all day. I was going to do one this morning, but no, like, real news had came out. And so here we are, you know, with the Kamara news. Obviously, you know, I went to go get a haircut. Now I'm back, and now we are doing this stream right now. And so I might do another one tonight if something else comes down. We'll see. If not, I'll probably prepare, you know, I'll prepare maybe a stream for tomorrow or Sunday. We'll definitely try to get one by Sunday, especially if some news comes out. Looks like we got the 5th pick. Nobody in here that I really know. Kickers' lives matters. We did get the 5th pick though. This is, I don't know. This is right in that Cooper Kupp range. I'm not gonna take Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp will fall right here. Most likely. He fell to, I think, the guy who had pick 7 or 8 in the last draft, and that guy obviously ended up taking him. So I probably will not take him. We'll see who falls to me here. I'm not a fan of this pick. I would almost rather have 12 again than to have 5. I guess the NFL is still investigating the Tyreek Hill crap. So hopefully we'll know about his, if they come down with a suspension on him or not. I don't think they will. I think he'll be okay. Jefferson and Chase go, no surprise there. So Tyreek Hill, McCaffrey, kind of, you know, go figure. All right, we're gonna go Kelsey. I'm gonna show you guys once again how to build this stack with Kelsey. I went over it during the last stream, whenever I did that last draft or whatever, and I told you where I thought the guy messed up. The guy messed up because he was taking running backs early, and so I'm gonna show you guys exactly what my strategy is going to be here when it comes to taking Kelsey first. I do think you can build a good team. You got to kind of get lucky. Hope some guys fall to you. We have the 5th pick, so I would say it would be better to have the 3rd or 4th pick probably to go Kelsey. And I think if I did have the 4th pick, I would probably go Kelsey I would be tempted with McCaffrey maybe, but so this guy went Cooper Kupp with the 6th pick. Like I said, I think he went 8th overall. Let me double check real quick. I want to see here. So completed, Hound Dog. I've only done 2, obviously. This was the last one I did from the 12 spot. This guy took Cooper Kupp with the 8th overall pick, right? For this team, I got St. Brown, Barkley, Najee, Christian Watson, Lawrence, Damian Pierce, James Conner, Elijah Moore, David Njoku. Now I did kind of auto draft like the last few picks. I did have Q's up, but I was like literally like in the middle of this draft, and then I had to get my haircut. I got P. Ryan, Bigsby, Dobbs, Shaheed. So like right here, like Shaheed and Jaden Reed, these guys got auto picked off my queue. Or no, these are the last 2 guys I actually picked. Samuel got auto picked from my queue, so did Hal, so did Chandler, so did Downs. Now I did have all these guys queued up. The problem was I missed out on tight ends. I only got 1 tight end, that's Njoku with this team, so that's kind of a bummer. All right, let's go back to this real quick. Bijan goes 11. This guy went Jalen Hurts pretty early. He's probably going to go... He might go Devontae Smith here. He did go Devontae Smith. What do you know? I knew it. That's crazy. I haven't seen this one. This is a new one. Jalen Hurts in the 1st round and Devontae Smith right after. I'm not hating on it, but it's a little new. You don't see that very often at all. I mean, this guy just got gifted with St. Brown at 15. That's a gift. Garrett Wilson's going to get gifted maybe here if this guy doesn't take. Okay, he takes him. That's still a gift. Garrett Wilson at 16. That's tough to come by. Yes, I will take Patrick Mahomes if he's there. 100%. All right, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. That's not bad. Barkley and A.J. Brown. Got Javi Chavi. Let's see what he does. He's got Cup. Who's he going to go here? Pollard? Pollard, maybe. Would be my guess. Would be Pollard here. He took Waddle. So I'm going to go... it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. I'm going to go... You know, with Olave there, I'm going to go, you know, Mahomes. Pollard's there, obviously. Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. Like I said, when you do this, you got to wait on running back. Okay? You can wait on quarterback a little bit, but you don't have to. I recommend going Mahomes right there, obviously, or Hurts. Those would be my top 2 options. Obviously, Hurts went in the 1st round here. Or you could go... You go receiver here, you go receiver here, and then you go maybe a quarterback with the 4th or 5th round pick. You're talking like Herbert, Joe Burrow. Probably one of those 2 guys. Maybe Justin Fields as well. Ridley's consistently going here at the beginning of round 3. It's kind of frustrating. I wish he would fall to me right here. It would be perfect, but obviously that's not going to happen. Every single time Ridley goes like the beginning of round 3. I don't know where he went in the last draft. I ought to look. All right, he took T. Higgins. That's good. I didn't want T. Higgins anyways. I think I took DK already too as well. Wow. This is a risk, but I'm not gonna lie, guys. A lot of the guys that I wanted are gone. Like, I would want really one of these three guys. I would really want DK right there. But we'll take a gamble on Debo. It's a gamble. I'm not super high on Debo, I'm not gonna lie. But there's a chance. I do think he's probably the best guy to go with that's on the board, considering all things. I would love to get my hands on Christian Watson on the way back, but if we don't, then we don't. We don't. It's a little unfortunate there that like DK wasn't there. And this is kind of the price that we pay here. Maybe we shouldn't have taken Mahomes. I don't know. I feel like Mahomes would have probably gotten taken by somebody. I thought about Cooper. It was close between Cooper and Debo. I'm not going to lie. Debo's younger, though. I think he has a little bit of a bounce back year. I don't know if he's not going to see what he did 2 years ago. I don't think. The only way you're going to see what he did 2 years ago is if McCaffrey gets hurt, in my opinion. But it's worth a shot, in my opinion. I mean, we're not really left with any other option other than to draft a running back, and I just don't want to do that with this team. Let me see where I can't believe Calvin. Like, really, Calvin Ridley's the guy I want to get right there, if I'm being totally honest. Like, Ridley went 29th overall, so that would have been my pick. That was in the last draft. So the guy that drafted, actually, the guy that drafted where I was drafting took Kelsey, Mahomes, and Calvin Ridley. Like, that's what I would have wanted to get. Obviously, it didn't happen for me. It happened for this guy, but it didn't happen for me. That's really what I would try to do. Those are the first three picks I would try to get if I go, if I go Mahomes and Kelsey, the first two picks, I'm trying to get Ridley. Bottom line. Najee's still on the board, ETN's still on the board, Watson's on the board, so hopefully we get one of those three guys here. ETN just went. That guy took Mixon. We will take Najee if he's there. And I'm just going to have to hope that this receiver makes it to me. Of course, Watson's on the board too. We're going to get one or the other. Watson or Harris, probably. I do want to get another receiver. I'm not going to say who it is. All right, that guy took Watson, which is who I probably would have taken if he was there. I'm gonna go Najee, guys, because there's just too much value. His ADP is 39.3. Really, he should have been off the board already. We'll take him. It's a good discount in my opinion. And then I really need this receiver to fall to me here in round 5. It's gonna suck if he doesn't. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna suck if he doesn't fall. This guy would take him too. I think if he goes, it's gonna be this guy that takes him. We'll see. Maybe so. Fields take more. There you go. The guy I want is Kirk. So he's at the top of the board right now, though. Is the problem. Kirk's at the top of the board, which sucks. This guy doesn't know what he wants. This guy's got. There's no way he takes Kirk, right? Okay. Ayuk. This guy in front of me is gonna take Kirk. He needs another receiver. I don't know if this guy does or not. He take Herbert, dude. You need a. You freaking idiot, dude. These guys are idiots. Like, why is he not taking a quarterback right there? Why didn't neither of those guys take a quarterback? I am so... I don't get it. I don't understand it. We're going to take Deontay Johnson. I would take her. See, and this is, you know, I would take Herbert or Hawkinson there, but I already got a quarterback and a tight end, so... That's just crazy to me. It's crazy that I can't get Kirk to fall to me right there. See, and this is why you don't break the rule of what I was saying and going to get a running back early. And this is kind of early for this strategy. I mean, it's round 4. It's tough to get, like, you get the stack right here and then you want to get Ridley and he goes super early now. Watson didn't make it to us. And then Kirk doesn't make it to us in round 5. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. So, it is what it is. I mean, it's an okay draft so far, but it's not what I was hoping for. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. That's why we do more than one of these. I'm not gonna sit here and gloat about this team. This isn't obviously what I wanted, but you just gotta roll with the punches, you know? Just gotta roll with the punches. Kenneth Walker doesn't go in the 5th round anymore, and so that kind of hurts us, obviously. Madison's fallen because of the injury news the other day, probably. And so those are guys that would normally be in that spot, and Kirk would easily get to us, but people are just, that's what happens, man. You get these people that overreact to news to a degree. As soon as news comes down, people overreact to it. Big time. It's I've seen it really the last 2 and 3 weeks of news coming down. People overreact big time as soon as it comes down. Which there's some news that I wouldn't say it's not worth overreacting, but there's some news that is worth it, and there's other news that's not. And so, like, this is good value for this guy. If Walker turns out to be fine, which is probably a decent chance, this is good value. You just got him as his 3rd running back in round 6. He probably needed to take a quarterback, though. Kyle Pitts just went round 6. That's a little early, I feel like, considering where he's been going. This guy took Goddard because he's going full Philly stack here. This is a good team other than his running back. Not a fan of this. I don't know why he's taking Josh Jacobs right here over these 4 guys. I don't even know if I would take Jacobs over Jones right now, and Jones goes in round 5. That's kind of how far I think Jacobs should be down here at the 4-5 turn. I think easily. He's probably going to play, but they have the 2nd toughest schedule. They have a poor offense this year. It's going to be pretty poor. He's going to see a lot of stacked boxes. He's going to be really susceptible to being injured as well because of the missing a training camp and everything else, plus all the carries and touches he had last year. Yeah, I'm off that train. I can tell you guys right now, I'm off that train. I could take a gamble here. I would like to get one of these running backs to go with Harris, but I also need a receiver. I don't know if Dotson will make it to me. He's got a lot of receivers. He's got a lot. He doesn't. We could always get Montgomery, maybe. I'm gonna go Jahan Dotson here. I need another receiver. Probably gonna try to get Sky Moore as well. I do need a running back though in round 7 here, more than likely. Kittle's kind of falling. I thought this guy would take a receiver, and so... But these guys are going to be taking running backs here, and so Dobbins and Pierce are going to be off the board. Montgomery probably doesn't make it back to me. Well, there goes Trevor Lawrence. I forgot about Lawrence. Lawrence stayed on the board. Just pretty crazy. Kittle, we like to see that. I'd like to see Waller go in the next 3 picks too. This would increase my likelihood of getting one of these running backs. Pittman, okay, okay, there goes Waller, good. So this is good. Two tight ends, quarterback came off. This is increasing our likelihood to either get Pierce or Montgomery. We just need to avoid a double snipe here. There goes one snipe. That's one snipe. This guy's got 3 running backs, so we should be okay. He's got McCaffrey, Henry, Aaron Jones. We should get Montgomery here. Be pretty crazy if we don't. Oh my god, he took a running back. He took Connor though. Alright. Yeah, Montgomery is like the easy pick. This guy's gonna take Quentin Johnston right here. Pair up with Herbert would be my guess. We almost got Pierce. That would have been crazy if we would have gotten Pierce. I would have taken Pierce in a heartbeat. Quentin Johnston called it. Called that one. All right, I would like to get Elijah Moore or Sky Moore, preferably Sky Moore here, just to go with this offense that we got. Mahomes and Kelsey. I don't mind Harrison Montgomery's a 1-2 punch, and we can get maybe a couple more down here. I don't mind it. It could be worse. Could be worse. We're probably going to miss out on Pacheco. I'm not going to be able to get Pacheco and Sky Moore. It's just not going to be possible. So I'm gonna have to get one or the other. I'm probably gonna get one or the other. It depends on who goes. I'm hoping it's Sky Moore though that falls to me. I mean, I don't know. I'll take Pacheco if he falls. I'm not gonna stress over it too much. I just like to get one or the other, and then we'll probably get McKinnon either way. Zay Flowers back around 7, Javonte in round 7. These guys are going a little earlier than where they used to go, obviously. Kamara is still on the board. We will take Kamara though if he's probably there as well. I almost forgot about Kamara. Kamara won't make it to us though. I'm surprised he's made it this far. Remember in my last draft, the guy took him right here at 63. I believe, if I go back and look. Let me go back and look real quick. Yeah, this guy took him right here at 63 in my last draft that I did. So he went pretty early. He was obviously on top of the news. Here goes Mike Thomas. These guys are taking their sweet time. Elijah Moore. This guy's taking 4 running backs in a row. He's got to go receiver or maybe quarterback here. 2 is on the board. Take Sky Moore. That's good. Well, that's out the window. We don't have a chance now for that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how early he goes. Sky Moore's going around it consistently. Remember, Sky Moore used to go like right here, the middle of round 11. He's moved up 3 rounds. ever since the news of Tony. Tony's still on the board. God. Pacheco's there, but I'm hoping to get Pacheco or Kamara, one or the other. At this point, we're gonna pass up on receiver. Tony and Bateman are kind of the guys up top. I don't really care for those guys. Sutton is there. I do like Sutton to a degree, but he might fall. He could fall to us. And I will take Sutton probably if he's there in round 9, unless there's something else that's more appealing. Kamara just went. James Cook went. Let's see if we get sniped here and they take Pacheco. Hopefully not, but it wouldn't shock me. Oh my god, he took Rashad White instead. Thank goodness. All right, we're gonna take Pacheco. Pretty self-explanatory. Kamara's gone. Sky Moore's gone. He probably just sniped. Well, he probably didn't snipe him. He's got Mark Andrews. Say he took Ingram, even though he's got Lawrence. The good news is we don't really need a tight end at this point. I mean, we do have Kelsey. Usually, like at this point in the draft, I'm like, okay, I need a tight end, but I got Kelsey, so I don't. Got 3 receivers, 3 running backs, all with different buys, which is good as well. We need to get our handcuff as well. I probably will take Sutton if he's there, just to get a little bit more insurance at receiver. There's a good chance I think that Sutton makes it to us here. Well, there goes Sutton. So that's out the window. Tony's there, but we're not going to take him. I don't know if I want to take him. I should take him, but I don't want to. I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna take Gibson. I like Gibson to a degree. I don't think he's really that bad of a pick. And Cortland Sutton's not there. And I mean, Tony's there, but I don't want to take him. I don't trust that guy at all. I think he's almost kind of, I mean, I might consider taking him if he's there in round 10. Which he's not, because there he goes. What's going on, Matthew? 5 keepers. I have Cup, Chase, Garrett Wilson, and Brees already. Would you keep DK as a 4th receiver, or Javonte as your second? Also, if possible, would you trade Cup for Bijan and keep DK? Well, yeah, if I had Cup, I would try to get Bijan in a hurry. It might be too late for that, though, to be honest. Yeah, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Brees already. I would keep DK over Javonte. It's not even a contest for me, to be honest. I know you probably need another running back, though, but you're just gonna have to draft one, I guess. How many receivers are you allowed to start? Like just 3? 2 receivers in the flex, or 3 receivers in the flex? I would try to get Bijan, though. I mean, you can try to get him for Cup, but if that guy trades you Bijan and you give him Cup, take it and run for the hills. It's probably gonna get vetoed. Yeah, Chase, Garrett, Brees, those are givens. 2 wide receivers in a flex. I mean, if it was up to me, I'm keeping DK over Javonte. Yeah. I mean, Javonte goes right here in round 7. Really, he's like a round 8 guy. DK went in round 2 right here. He goes in round 3, though, pretty consistently, middle of round 3. DK's still pretty young as well. He's really getting ready to enter like his prime, or he's kind of like in his prime right now. I know Javante's only in what, year 3, but I don't know, man. I would keep DK over Javante, but yeah, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Brees, those are home runs. And then obviously, yeah, I would try to get Bijan, but good luck. If that guy gives you Bijan, or I'm assuming you've already drafted. Have you already drafted? Is that why you're gonna say like Bijan should be a guy who's getting drafted? I'm assuming your draft was already done then. I mean, it's not crazy to like not. I mean, obviously, I would keep Cup, but I would try to get rid of him too. There's a chance that maybe this lingers all season with Cup. Is my worry. Kind of like Keenan Allen last year. You got to think Cup's 30 years old. It's probably a secondary injury, probably. I mean, it's on the same leg. It's on the same leg that he had the surgery on his on that foot of that leg. So he had a surgery on the ankle of the same leg that he has the hamstring. So it's probably a compensation injury. It's a grade 2 hamstring according to Draft Sharks. I've already looked it up. I went over at the beginning of this stream, and so you know, I would probably consider moving him if I could, just to be safe, especially if you get into, like, you know, if you get a Bijan out of it, yeah, I'm making that move in a heartbeat. So I don't even have to think about that. This guy would draft Zay Jones right at, like, I was hoping to get Zay Jones at 128. No chance. No chance. I mean, this draft is just so freaking weird. It's like, I think I can get a guy like 8 picks later. It's like, no, he goes immediately after. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Freaking crazy. We got to get another receiver here. I could have did better in the receiver department, obviously. I didn't want Debo here. I wanted Ridley or DK. We'll see. Maybe Debo pans out. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know. This guy just stole Pirine around 11. That's crazy. Like, Pirine should have been off the board already. I thought about taking him, but I already had Pacheco and I needed McKinnon to handcuff. Like, why is Lazard and Penny being drafted over Pirine? Mitchell went kind of early too. Nico's there. Kincaid is there. I really like Kincaid. I'm going to take Kincaid. Good news came out about Kincaid. Obviously, this past week we went over it earlier, so I feel like he's just better than Dobbs and Collins, even though those guys are receivers, and I obviously need receivers, but give me Dalton Kincaid, man. We'll grab some of these other receivers later, and hopefully, you know, hopefully hit on a couple of them would be nice. Yeah, Nico goes right after. I kind of figured. Matthew, who else you got on your team? Like, who else do you got on your team that you would maybe, you think could be a keeper? You know? Like, who else on your team could be a keeper? Is there anybody else that's like worth keeping? Or my question is, so you're trying to figure out who your keepers are for the draft, right? So why are you having to trade for Bijan if you haven't even set your keepers yet? That's my question. Are you saying like trade Cooper Kupp to get into the draft slot to where you could draft Bijan? Is that what you're saying? That would be my guess, right? Like trade Cooper Kupp to the guy who's got the #1 overall pick so you can have his pick or whatever, and then draft Bijan with the #1 overall pick or something? Is that what you're talking about? If that's the case, then yeah. Do that in a heartbeat. Especially when you got Garrett Wilson and Jamar Chase. Yeah, you don't have to have Kupp. You got DK as a third receiver too. You'll be fine at receiver. Keep Brees. Go get Bijan. Brees, you're gonna have to be patient with Brees though. I'm just fair warning you right now. You're gonna have to be patient with him. You may take till week 5, week 6 to where we see Brees of last year. They're gonna work him into they're gonna ease him into the offense. I was hoping obviously the Dalvin Cook news would come this week. Maybe come down and say that he was, gonna sign with the Jets, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't. I think the Broncos are still kind of interested in Dalvin Cook as well. So I think I seen a report about them being interested in Dalvin Cook this year. So maybe he ends up going to Denver or something instead of the Jets, which obviously that would help Brees Hall a lot. I don't see, and it's funny because like out of all the teams that need to sign running backs, like you're talking about the Patriots who are probably going to go out and get somebody. I think the Cowboys may get Zeke back or at least add somebody to that running back room. And then you're also talking about the Broncos, the Dolphins, and then you're also talking about maybe potentially the Seahawks if this thing with with Kenneth Walker keeps lingering on. They might be in the running for a running back as well. And so I just find it hilarious that the Jets are talking about getting another running back. They have Brees, they have Carter, they got Bam Knight, who's decent even as a third running back. Bam Knight's probably one of the best third string running backs in the league. And they just drafted Ebony Honda, guy out of Pittsburgh, who's pretty good. He played in the game last night. I kind of knew he was already pretty good. He's a guy that, he's not a bad running back for somebody who's on the, who's a fourth stringer. I don't know why they're in the running for getting a running back in New York. I just don't understand it. They don't need Dalvin Cook, in my opinion. The only thing that they're doing is just screwing people in fantasy that have Brees Hall, who are Brees Hall owners. At least until maybe an injury happens. But so hopefully there, maybe Dalvin Cook goes to Denver or something, or goes down to Miami where we thought he originally was going to go. Or we're on the board next, or we're on the clock next. I'm going to take this guy. I like this guy. I'm starting to like this guy. I'm starting to get on the Alec Pierce train here a little bit. I think he's going to be the more productive receiver in Indianapolis this year, to be honest, over Michael Pittman. I think it's gonna be a chance that he's more productive, at least in best ball. Like I think there's a better chance of Pierce having like a bigger game at some point in time in the season to where he's vaulted into your starting lineup if you own him in best ball. So I think there's a better chance of if I was a gambling man, which I kind of am, obviously we're gambling right now, I would be willing to take a shot on Alec Pierce, I think, in best ball over somebody like Pittman, who goes right here at the end of round 6, or usually end of round 6, middle of round 6. And I definitely would rather be pairing up Pierce and Richardson together rather than Pittman and Richardson, to be honest. So that guy took Hodgins at 151, dude. Everybody, I'm telling you, dude, I was on Hodgins before just about everybody. I'm telling you guys right now. We've been on Hodgins forever. Hodgins is like I own so much of Hodgins, it's not even funny. I've been on Hodgins way before everybody else. I just want you guys to know that. Like, my 147 drafts, look at this. Hodgins is my 4th highest owned player. Fourth highest owned player, 42.9%. I got a ton of shares of him. I would draft this guy in just about every single league at the end of like round 15 or 16 or 17 or whatever. He was obviously going much later. 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I just want you guys to know that, by the way. All these guys are taking Hodgins so early now. I used to get Hodgins like right here at the 15-16 turn, like every single draft. Now this guy's drafting him in the middle of round 13. I'm surprised Jonathan Mingo's still on the board. I'll probably take him if he's there. I'm trying to think. I do kind of need another quarterback though. Maybe we get Pickett. We could get Pickett or Brock Purdy. We could go Purdy. We do have Debo. I feel like Pickett could be a better fantasy quarterback though, if I'm being honest. All right, Jonathan Mingo went, so we don't have to worry about that. Jaden Reed is there. We could take another rookie, go get Reed. And then we could probably wait on... Did Pickett go already? Pickett didn't go already. Where's he at? There he is. Oh, Pickett's like right there, 172. Gosh. The guy took Irv Smith? No way. All right, we're going to take... I was going to take Irv Smith. That's who I was going to take. I can't believe that guy took him from me. I'm going to go take some Hill instead. And then we're going to try to get... Hopefully Purdy or Pickett fall to me here. This would be great. If not, we'll go Jaden Reed, I guess. We'll see what happens. Reed actually might go before those guys here. Dang it, dude. I was going to get Irv Smith right there. That sucks. Oh, well. All we need is Taysom Hill to have like a 30-point game 1 week. 1 or 2 weeks. All right, so Purdy went. Hopefully Pickett stays on the board here. He will if this guy doesn't take him. I don't see this guy going Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett back to back. All right, he took Reed. We're going to go Kenny Pickett, get our second quarterback. If you guys have any questions, you guys need to ask me right now, because as soon as this draft is over, I'm probably going to call it a day at least for this stream. I'm going to call it quits on this stream. I got a couple things I got to do. Like I said, we went over the news. We went over, we talked about Alvin Kamara, 3-game suspension. Like I said, I expected it this week. We got it today, right at the end of the week. So I kind of figured, him meeting with Goodell on Wednesday pretty much was an indicator they were going to give it to us either yesterday or today. They ended up giving it to us today. And so, hey man, I mean, I'm glad I didn't get a ton of shares, but I got enough shares, I believe, of him in round 8, round 9 back in the day. And I have a team, I'll have to go back and look, but I have a team where he's like my 4th running back. Like, he's literally my 4th running back drafted on one of my teams. And so, I mean, the value with him was back in June, was back in May. Obviously, this guy still kind of got him in round 8 here. Like the middle of round 8, he had Sanders, Etienne before him. It's not bad. I seen a draft where like Kamara literally went like, I think he went like middle around 10 a long time ago, like back in like May. I seen this guy fall to like 112, 113 range, I think is where he was, which was just, I thought it was stealing. I couldn't believe it. So obviously, if you don't want to draft Kamara because you think he's a bad person, this and that, I totally understand that as well. I can't tell myself to not do that, even though I would want to do that. I can't tell myself to not do that because you're playing against people who are allowed to draft him, who can benefit from his, you know, benefit from his productivity on the field. So it's tough for me to say, well, I'm not going to draft that guy because he's a bad human being. But then you got somebody else drafting him who could potentially win money off of that, you know, off of him getting him at a good value. And so for me, it's like, you know, as much as I think he's a bad person and made a couple of mistakes, this and that, I'm still going to probably, you know, I'm still going to draft him from time to time because why not? All right, we're going to go ahead and take Justin Ross because he's not going to make it to us in round 17. I mean, we got a decent team. I would have liked to have obviously gotten Calvin Ridley, obviously, here, or DK. Watson, we missed Watson by a pick. We still got good value on Najee here. I wanted Christian Kirk right here instead of Deontay, but it is what it is. So yeah, we got Najee, Montgomery, Pacheco, paired up Pacheco, handcuffed him with McKinnon. We also got Antonio Gibson. Quarterback, we got Mahomes, Kenny Pickett. Tight end, we got Kelsey, Kincaid, and Taysom Hill. So that's actually a really good tight end room. And then we got Debo, Deontay, Jahan Dotson, Rashee Rice, Pierce, and then we just picked up Justin Ross as receiver number 6. So try to we're good on quarterback and tight end, so we'll probably just try to add maybe a couple more weapons at receiver. I think we're pretty good on running back as well. Gibson, McKinnon, Pacheco, Montgomery, Najee. It's not bad. It's not bad. Sam Howell is there. We could take Sam Howell to get another quarterback if we really wanted to. We do have Dotson. We do have Gibson. So we could handcuff them to those guys, or not handcuff them, but stack them to those guys. So maybe we do take Sam Howell right here if he's there. If he's not, then we'll move on. All right, looks like he's there. We're gonna take him. Why not? Let's take a gamble. You never know. He could. I mean, I've been drafting quite a bit of Sam Howell. Not a ton of him, but quite a bit. But I'm pretty high on him. I think he could be a guy who ends up being a pretty good like late quarterback pick, especially if like your first guy goes down to injury or something. And then obviously in best ball, I mean, he's going to start if he plays good. He's going to get put into the starting lineup, so it's worth the shot, I guess. All right, we need to get a receiver here to end our draft, though. We're going to go ahead and go. I'm going to take this guy because I think this is like the best receiver to take at the end of the draft, in my opinion. He's usually there. He's pretty much there anytime you want him. I'm trying to think of some other candidates that we could take. You could take Josh Reynolds, maybe. You know, he could maybe do something for you a week. I wouldn't really, I mean, I'm not going to set expectations for him too high. Michael Wilson's not a bad pick. The receiver out of Arizona, the rookie out of Stanford. I think Nakua could be a decent pick as well towards the end of a draft if this Cooper Kupp injury like lingers throughout the season. To see like Robert Woods, Claypool, Darius Slayton, even Terrace Marshall, I don't have to have those guys, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to have them. The guy I was going to take was Quez Watkins. He just took my guy. That's cool. I was going to take Quez Watkins right here. That's who I was going to take. I think, so this guy, Quez Watkins for Philly, he's pretty much receiver number 3. I think he's like one of the better guys. And it doesn't shock me this guy took him. This guy's got all the Eagles players. He's got Hurts, Smith, to Goddard. I should have known he was going to take him. It is what it is. He went kind of weird here at running back. Swift could be okay. He's also a Philly guy. That doesn't shock me. If he would have taken somebody else other than Jacobs right here, I would actually like this guy's team a lot. All right, I got to figure out who I'm going to take now. I just took my guy. Says Nakua could earn the number 3 role in the offense. They said he's been playing pretty good. I might take Nakua. You know what? I think I will. I think I'm going to take Nakua. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time down the stretch anyways. I think there's going to be a good chance that he gets quite a bit of, you know, if the Rams aren't really in it towards like the end of the year, which they won't be, there's a good chance that, you know, these rookies start seeing a little bit more time after like week 12, week 13, you know, or basically after the bye. And so, yeah, let's take a chance. Let's take a chance. I like Nakua. Guy out of BYU. Go watch his tape. He's really good. He's going to remind you a lot of like Cooper Kupp too. He plays very similar style to Cooper Kupp in my opinion. And he's roughly about the same build as well. So I actually like Puka Nacua this year. This is a especially in best ball. You get him in best ball, very end of your draft. You never know. He might provide something to you. Looks like we are projected. I mean, projections don't really matter. I don't really care about projections. Final team, we got Kelsey, Mahomes, Debo, Harris, Deontay Johnson, Jahan Dotson, Montgomery, Pacheco, handcuffed him with McKinnon. We also got Antonio Gibson, Dalton Kincaid, Rashid Rice, Alec Pierce, Taysom Hill, Kenny Pickett, Justin Ross, Sam Howell, and Puka Nacua. So it's, you know, there's a couple guys I wish I would have rather had, you know, like I wish Ridley would have been there. I was hoping to get Kirk. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Not a bad team, though. Not a bad team. All right, so obviously the big news today was Kamara suspended 3 games. Like I said, I expected this week. I told you guys that back on Sunday and Monday. Expect Kamara's suspension to come down and expect it to be like 1 or 2 games is what I was saying. Obviously, we got 3. Like I said, he's going to miss out on, Tennessee opening week. He's going to miss out on Tennessee, Carolina, and Green Bay. 2 of those are road games at, you know, week 2 at Carolina, week 3 at Green Bay. He's coming back for the Buccaneers at home. That's actually a good game to come back to. The Buccaneers defense is going to suck this year. So, it could have been worse, man. It could have been worse. Like I said, he probably should have got about half the year. I'm not really shocked, though, man. I'm not shocked. It took them so long. Like, this whole ordeal with Kamara didn't even get covered, man. The video surveillance footage came out last year in the middle, or, you know, towards the end of the year. They didn't even talk about it. Nobody was talking about it. ESPN didn't talk about it. You didn't see it. I don't even know if you would have seen it on local Las Vegas news. And so that should have given like insight to just about everybody that he wasn't going to get a big suspension. You talk about, we talked about how he got charged with breach of the, what was it called? Breach of the peace or whatever. Basically, yeah, breach of the peace is basically, you know, disturbance of the peace, right? It's like, you know, you get breach of the peace whenever you kick a guy in the hallway, damn near beat him to death. you know, gang up on them with a bunch of your friends, and then you're bragging about it in the car ride on your Instagram live or whatever it was. I mean, and you get breach of the peace. I mean, I don't know how much he paid his lawyers, but his lawyers were some damn good lawyers to get breach of the peace and get the what was it, a felony dropped to like a misdemeanor. I mean, yeah, I mean, as soon as that news came out, on top of them not covering it, that should have gave everybody an indication that, you know, the suspension that was going to be coming down wasn't going to be very harsh. So he obviously settled the civil case as well on top of that, and so I'm not really shocked that he didn't get much here. And yeah, I mean, I'm drafting him, and I'm trying to get him in round 8. In a normal league, I'm probably going to try to get him in like round 4 or 5, probably. You know, best ball league, he's obviously going to stay probably round, he's probably going to come up to round 7, round 6. Like I said, that one guy drafted him at the beginning of round 6. That's kind of the highest I've seen him go since, and that was like immediately after this news broke. So obviously this past draft he went round 8, but expect him to at least come down to round 7. I wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing him pretty consistently in round 6. If you were gonna buy in, you should have bought in a long time ago. You should have bought in back in June, May. I can show you guys here. Let me show you. I mean, I have drafts where I took him like round 9. I would have to, let me find one real quick. Let me go to, gosh, I have a bunch of these puppy twos. Let me see if I got one with them in here. Bet you I do. I have one team where I have like a loaded running back room. Like, this was a pretty good team for me, I thought, right here. Let me show you guys this team. This was back during the puppy twos, so this would have been like in May. This would have been like towards the end of May, roughly. I believe is when the puppy twos were out, if I'm not mistaken. But like, look at this team I got. I got Burrow, Rodgers, Carr. I got Stevenson, Walker, Charbonnet, Handcuff, Swift. I got Kamara as like my 5th running back. Pick 100. Pick 100, guys. This is back when his ADP was like 100.7. I got Damian Harris to go behind him. We got Garrett Wilson, Olave, Dodson, Hodgins, Downs, Conquo, Hill. Not the greatest tight end room, but we sacrificed a little bit, obviously. But he was consistently going right here, beginning around 9-ish. I've even seen him fall to like I said, I had one draft. I didn't get him, but somebody else did. I seen him fall to like 110, 111, beginning or like around 10. So he just went from here back in like May, June-ish time frame, early June, to, like I said, he went right here, 63rd overall in the draft I did right before I live streamed, and then obviously he went, you know, 88 or 89th, but he's going to start consistently going from anywhere from 62 to probably 80, if I had to guess. So pretty much anywhere from the beginning to middle-ish of round 6 to about the middle-ish of round 7 is where he's going to be probably consistently drafted, if I had to guess. So like I said, if you wanted the value, it was back here. It was back here a long time ago. And I don't have him on a ton of teams, but I have him on a fair amount where he's like literally my number 5, number 4 running back. So this would have been the time to get him. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So with that being said, man, I'm out of here. We'll catch you guys later. Maybe tonight, if not, definitely by Saturday or Sunday, I will go over the news again. We might do another draft. Like I said, questions. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Let me know in a video if you guys have any questions. You know, if it's one of my other live streams that you guys watch, you can put a question in the comments. I will get back to it as soon as possible. Usually pretty quick. So I know drafts are coming up fast and furious right now, and so hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys aren't drafting until like the last week before the season starts, because there's going to be more news that come down. Josh Jacobs news probably. We still got to wait on Dalvin Cook news. We got to wait for some of these other running backs to maybe sign somewhere, or if a team picks them up or whatever. And then obviously you're going to have your injury news. That's really the biggest reason why you should wait, is because you're going to have injury news that pops up. And if you drafted, say, this week, and then we get more injury news about Cooper Kupp next week, it's going to affect the way that you drafted the week before or whatever. And so if you're in a league where you guys draft like this week or next week, I would highly encourage you guys to like back it up to like the last week of August or the first week of September, right before the Chiefs and the Lions opening Thursday night game. So that way you guys have all the information available to you. Obviously in the best ball drafts, you're drafting, hopefully you're drafting more than one, and you're just drafting as you go, and you're drafting off the current news. So I am out of here. We'll catch you guys probably tomorrow or Sunday. Definitely by Sunday. So maybe like a Sunday night or Saturday night. We'll see. It just depends on what happens. So have a good one. I'm out of here. We'll catch you guys later.